Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to Allotment of the Dead. So today we've got to that time in the lifetime of a chilli to actually start potting it on. So a lot of my chilies now are looking like this. There's very few of them have actually not germinated. So of the 180 varieties that are planted, there's probably about a dozen or so that there's no sign of life of yet, but a lot of them are looking like this. So they've got that lovely kind of second set of leaves coming. And yes, some of them are a little bit leggy, but what we'll be doing in this particular video is potting them on and then kind of sinking them a bit lower in the compost to give them a bit of support, and then again to enable them to go on to that next level. So what we've got is some of these nice container-wise. These are almost the root trainer kind of size. Using these purely for no other reason than the fact that I want to put them a little bit deeper, because, as I say, that initial legginess, hopefully we should be able to counteract that by just seating them a little bit deeper when we pot them on. And the soil we're using is Jack's Magic in this case. It's not as good now as it used to be. It seems to be a lot more fibrous. But I think that's because of the reduced peat that I think everywhere is going towards that now. Still yet to find a decent, completely peat-free compost. So I'll stick with this one, at least the chilies anyway, just to give them a fighting chance. Right, so one of the main important things that I've done so far is, in terms of filling these, I've not compacted them too hard, just filled them up. But the other thing you need to do is, if you've got your compost, say directly from a garden centre, or you've had it out down the plot for a while, or you've got it in the back garden for a while, in these temperatures, which pretty much are 0 and below at the moment, the thing to do is bring it in the house. So bring the compost into a nice warm environment, get it warmed up, because one of the things that can happen when you transfer these young seedlings over is you can shock them with temperature difference. So having kind of really cold compost around their roots, they don't particularly like it, and they'll end up basically sulking, and you can lose a chili at that point. You can lose the seedling. But hopefully that sulking period should only be a short while. Right, so what we'll do is we'll transfer you over so you can get a little bit closer to the action, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so the next step for the chili seedlings then is to put them on into this nice new compost. So the reason why we need to pot these on is because the seeds, when they're first sown, everything they need for this stage, everything they need to get up to that stage there, which is amazing considering the size of the seed, is actually within the seed. I mean, you see the seed still attached to the leaves there, but so that initial growth is within that seed. So you get the photosynthesis from these first leaves that come off, which can then enable this massive spurt of growth. But after a while, the nutrients within the compost become spent. And if you're using a seed compost, there was no nutrients there in the first place, because as you'd expect, in the majority of cases, to get onto this stage, you don't need any nutrients at all. So the compost here was Levington F1, completely devoid of nutrients. And what we need to do is transfer these over into a new compost, hopefully with a few more nutrients in it, to then enable that next step of growth. So the other thing that I need to do here is that I think you'll notice there that for each of these particular varieties of chilies, there's more than three plants. I am going to only be transferring 3 of these over into these new pots, and it's going to really break my heart to throw the others away. I don't like throwing anything away in terms of plants. Everything there's a potential to give you really nice chili pods, but I'm going to have to be ruthless. So I'm going to transfer 3 over and see how they go. So the first step will be to give this nice new compost a bit of a water. So again, you want the water to be not freezing cold, nice tepid water. Again, just to reduce that shock element that you might introduce to the seedlings when you transfer them over. They've got quite a bit of things to do to actually get to adult plants in their lifetime, so the least you can do really is to at least give them a fighting chance at this stage. All right, so as I say, the reason I've used these deeper container-wise trays is so I can plant them a bit deeper. So this legginess hopefully should be mitigated by potting them on a little bit deeper than you would normally. Okay, I think I might get a bigger attachment for this. These little plastic attachments are fantastic just for bottles, but I might find a big one in a minute. Right, so the correct tool for the job is what they always say. My correct tool for the job is a chopstick. I almost forgot the name of it. Right, so what we'll do is, what we're wanting to do is make a nice hole in the compost, and then we're going to, just using the leaves, just transfer that seedling. You see this seedling here, it's got quite a few roots on it already. Absolutely, well, you can see that, absolutely gorgeous plants already. And then we'll transfer it over. Might need to make that a little bit bigger for the root bed, for the root ball, sorry. And what we'll do is we'll push them down a bit deeper than we would normally, and then just firm it around the stem. So hopefully we should avoid that initial shock. Okay, we'll go to the next one. And again, you'd normally wait for transferring seedlings over when they've got that first set of true leaves. So your first leaves are almost like nursery leaves. Can't remember the name of them now, but the cotyledons, I think that's the name of them. So we'll transfer again the roots of these, absolutely fantastic. Space chilies always seem to do quite well, and again, maybe it's because they've been in space, I don't know. And then is the third one. So this is Hangzhou 1, which is Corona. Okay, we'll transfer that in. And again, you notice I didn't touch the stems at all there, just to make sure that I wasn't going to cause them any damage. If you touch the stems at this stage, there's a good chance that you can actually break the stems when you transfer them. You can also damage that stem so that it's not going to actually take any nutrients up to the leaves, and it's the leaves that needs that photosynthesis to enable them to grow. So that extra care needs to be taken when you're transferring these over. Right, we're going to the Hangzhou 2. Again, I have to say, red dragon seeds, where I got all these space chilies from, absolutely fantastic quality seeds. The speed which they germinated was absolutely phenomenal, and the actual end result here is really, really good as well. I mean, you can't really fault it. Right, so again, nice and gentle, like a bull in a china shop usually, me, but when it comes to these seedlings, you have to be so careful. Right, again, make a nice little hole, transfer the seedling over and firm it round. And the same for the last one. Okay, right, I will continue to do these, and then I'll get back to you when I've finished.
Inside her fur, do not sleep, she waits for you to sleep. Do not sleep, she waits for you to sleep. My breath.
Okay. So, chilies being members of the Solanum family, they don't mind this being buried a little bit deeper when they're potted on. A little bit like tomatoes in that respect. I've pretty much done this every year. Those ones that get a little bit leggy, just that little bit further down when you plant them on, no problem at all.
You breathe, it will carry you. My breath, you breathe, it carries you. Do not sleep, she waits for you to sleep.
Let me just show you my friend. I've got an observer. He's found my he's found my trays, and he's absolutely loving it. Yuki, what are you doing? Oh, he's coming over to say hello. Okay. Come over to say hello. See? I don't know what he's looking for. Okay. Okay, so that's all 10 varieties of space chilies all planted up. Some fantastic quality to these. What I have done though is all the ones that I haven't transferred over to today, I've left in those pots. These are kind of almost like a spares kind of thing, just in case some of these kind of die in, what they say, die in transit, or die after the transfer. Hopefully though, these should all be really, really good. They're all really healthy, so hopefully we should have some decent plants out of these. I have planted a couple of extra ones of some of these varieties because this quality of those seedlings are so good. it could be that I maybe give some of these plants away to other people down the plot. One of the things that people tend to do when they've got extra plants or seeds and things like that is pass them on. It's all part of the kind of the whole allotment gardening kick. So that's kind of, yeah, where we are with that then. So that's all of the space chilies. I've got the vampire chilies and things to do. So Count Dracula here and Nosferatu, they've all come up really well. Vampire, not quite so well, but you'll notice the shape of the leaves, the colour of the stems as well. Is all of these are dark chilies, so the actual initial stages of the fruit on these is black, and you get that nice kind of purple to black stems and leaves to an extent of this plant, or all of these particular three plants. So what I'll do is I'll transfer those over probably in the morning. I'll take these up now, give them a nice water, and put them back underneath the lights. Okay, so we'll have one of these trays. Let's knock out some of the cat dust. Right, let's transfer those into the tray. So what we can do with these trays, there's no holes in the bottom of these trays. What you can do is water from the bottom, so you can kind of move the whole tray to one side. You can fill the bottom up with water, and then you can put the tray back in. You always find watering from the bottom with these is a lot better for them. Okay, so we'll transfer those over. Okay, so that's the first of my 180 varieties of chili and sweet pepper potted on. As they say, 170 to go. Again, it's part of the fun is getting them to kind of a plant stage that's going to give you some fruit. So that's all for today. I'll carry on with potting these things on over the next few days. It looks like the majority of my chilies now can be transferred over. As soon as they're big enough to handle, you can transfer them over into larger pots or individual pots. So that's my job probably for the next week or so. Anyway, that's all for tonight. So we'll speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.